I boiled them for an hour and I extracted the liquid from that, which was a bright purple liquid. So I took about 120 mils and I added a teaspoon of vinegar and a pinch of salt, and by doing that it preserves that liquid. This is just powdered turmeric that I use in my cooking. So what I did was I put 2 tablespoons of turmeric and I filled it up to 250 mils with boiled water from my kettle, stirred it, made sure it was all mixed in really well. Once that was steeped overnight, then I got a funnel and a piece of, this is just a bit of bed sheet, pop the bed sheet into the funnel, and I poured the liquid solution with the turmeric powder into the funnel and let it drip through at the bottom, and then squeezed out as much of the juice as I could. And then I was left again with about 120 mils of liquid, which I put into a jar, added a teaspoon of vinegar and a pinch of salt, and that's still fine. Every time I had a cup of tea, I got some hot water and bunged a load of tea bags into a jar and extracted some of the brown liquid off the tea. Oat galls are a growth that you find on plant tissue. So there's different types of galls. You can have bacterial galls, but these ones are galls from insects, and the insects of these galls are wasps. These are quite knobbly. And then here we've got more of a rounded gall. So this is what's called an oak apple or a marble gall. So I think most people would look out for these, but actually you're probably walking through trees and not noticing these knopper galls, which are just as rich in tannin as the oak apple style galls. They're just different varieties of wasps. That's the difference between those. So equally, they will make a good ink or dye. Just want to show you this because you can actually see there's the acorn and there's the growth on the side of it. It attaches itself, and then inside there lays the wasp larvae. And then in sort of at the end of summertime, towards the end of summer, the larvae will find its way out. So you can see here there's a hole where the larvae come out, and again here, and then these will drop off the tree. So when you go out for a walk, don't just look for the round galls, look also for the knopper galls as well, but don't pick them in the summertime. Be sure that the larvae's left the gall. I've got a pestle and mortar here, and what I do to prepare my oat galls for the dye bath, I bash them, and you can actually grind them down to a fine powder. However, my dad was chucking out this old, it's like a coffee grinder, but you can pop your bashed galls into there, and it's much easier to grind them. And it's quite relaxing actually. I sit for hours doing that, and then what you get is a nice powder out there. So to make enough for an ink or even for a dye bath, if you want to dye some fabric, I'd use about a handful of oat galls, bash them down, pop them in there, and then what you do is you pop that into a pan, cover it with about 250 mils of water, 300 mils of water, and simmer for about an hour. Then leave it overnight again to steep, and then strain off, and then what you're left with is a brown liquid. And you can use that as ink as it is, and you don't need to put any preservatives or anything in, because it's got high tannin content. If you want it to go black, to do that you need to add iron or ferrous sulfate. So here I've got some that I've bought, so I put about a teaspoon in there, and instantly it oxidizes and turns it black. If you're going to keep your ink for a long time, I recommend you put a stopper on it. So this is an old whiskey bottle that we polished off, and what that does is it prevents the air getting into it and weakening it and oxidizing it too quickly. Once you've extracted your dye, what you need to do is add a solution to make it fix to your paper, something called gum arabic, which is the sap of the acacia tree. The ratio is 10 parts of your dye stuff solution to 1 part of your gum arabic. So I've got 50 mils of my dye solution and add 5 mils of gum arabic, and what that does, it improves the viscosity and helps it stick to your paper better. So here is my solutions that I've made. So I've got here, this is ink from tea, this is the ink from the beetroot, this is the turmeric, and that's the oat gall ink there. I've just got a few samples here to show you. Tea there, that's beetroot, turmeric and oat gall. And you can see that they're much darker, so the longer you leave them, the darker they become. This is handmade paper, and can you see how it's different? It's slightly bled into the paper, but it's also darker as well. This is handmade paper, but much thinner. Again, you get a very different effect. So even the types of papers that you use can affect how the ink looks. So I would probably use this artist quality paper for writing with, and then I'd use these two with a paintbrush for painting with.